Welcome friends. I am Lima Rosemary, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Biochemistry, St. Joseph College of Arts and Science, Kadalur. Now I am going to talk about metabolic changes in diabetes mellitus, role of hormone in the maintenance of blood sugar, and metabolic effects of insulin. Introduction. Diabetes mellitus is associated with several metabolic alterations. Most important among them are hyperglycemia, ketoacidosis, and hypertriglyceridemia. First, hyperglycemia. It refers to high level of sugar or glucose in the blood. It occurs when the body does not produce or use enough insulin, which is a hormone that absorbs glucose into cells for use as energy. High blood sugar is a leading indicator of diabetes. High blood sugar or hyperglycemia is a major concern and can affect people with both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Hyperglycemia, it reduced glucose uptake by tissues, so the concentration of glucose were increased, but increase the production of glucose via gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis means glucose synthesized from non-carbohydrate compound. Here the increased production of plasma amino acid to convert it to glucose. This process gluconeogenesis. So here the glucose concentration were increased. Then hyperglycemia also increase the glycogenolysis, that is breakdown of glycogen. So here it also produced glucose high level. This leads to increase the glucose production. It is caused hyperglycemia. Symptoms of hyperglycemia: increased thirst, headache, trouble concentrating, blurred vision, fatigue, weight loss, blood sugar more than 180 mg per deciliter, slow healing cuts and sores, worst vision, nerve damage, stomach and intestinal problems such as chronic constipation or diarrhea, and damaged eyes, blood vessels or kidneys. Next, ketoacidosis. Ketoacidosis is a metabolic state caused by uncontrolled production of ketone bodies that cause a metabolic acidosis. It's a specific pathologic condition that results in changes in blood pH and requires medical attention. The most common cause of ketoacidosis is diabetic ketoacidosis, but can also be caused by alcohol, medication, toxins, and rarely starvation. Diabetic ketoacidosis is a potentially life-threatening complication of diabetes mellitus. Signs and symptoms of ketoacidosis. It may include vomiting, abdominal pain, deep gasping breathing, increased urination, weakness, confusion, and occasionally loss of consciousness. A person's breath may develop a specific fruity smell. Breath may also develop the smell of acetone, as it is a volatile ketone that can be exhaled. Rapid deep breathing or Kussmaul breathing may be present to compensate for the metabolic acidosis. Then altered mental status is more common in diabetic than alcoholic ketoacidosis. People without a previous diagnosis of diabetes may develop diabetic ketoacidosis as the first obvious symptom. Then causes for ketosis. Ketoacidosis is caused by the uncontrolled production of ketone bodies. Usually the production of ketones is carefully controlled by several hormones, most importantly insulin. Here lipolysis, that is breakdown of lipids, it produced plasma-free fatty acid and it increased ketone body formations. This condition called ketoacidosis. The most common cause of ketoacidosis is the deficiency of insulin in type 1 diabetes or late stage type 2 diabetes. This is called diabetic ketoacidosis and is characterized by hyperglycemia, dehydration and metabolic acidosis. Other electrolyte disturbances such as hyperkalemia and hypernatremia may also be present. Next, hypertriglyceridemia. It denotes high blood level of triglycerides, the most abundant fatty molecule in most organisms. The level of triglycerides are associated with atherosclerosis even in the absence of hypercholesterolemia and predisposed to cardiovascular disease. Lipolysis to produce plasma-free fatty acid and it increases the triglycerol synthesis. This leads to develop hypertriglyceridemia. Very high glyceride levels also increase the risk of acute pancreatitis. It is usually symptomless, although high levels may be associated with skin lesion known as xanthomas. Then causes. Overeating is the excess food consumed in relation to the energy that an organism expends, leading to weight gaining and often obesity. And excess alcohol consumption, kidney failure, nephrotic syndrome, hyperlipidemia, lipoprotein lipase deficiency, lysosomal acid lipase deficiency, hypothyroidism, and glycogen storage disease type 1. The next topic, role of hormones in blood sugar. Hormones play a significant role in the regulation of blood glucose concentration. In order to maintain this range, there are two main hormones that control blood glucose levels, that is insulin and glucagon. Blood glucose regulation is very important to the maintenance of human body. Insulin and glucagon are hormones secreted by islet cells within the pancreas. Primarily, insulin lowers the blood glucose level, while the rest of the hormones oppose the action of insulin, so that insulin is otherwise called hyperglycemic hormone. Then insulin it responds to hyperglycemia. Some amino acid, free fatty acid, ketone bodies and drugs also cause the secretion of insulin. It is basically a hypoglycemic hormone that lowers in blood glucose level. So it is called anti-diabetogenic hormone. The next, glucagon. Hypoglycemia stimulates glucagon production. Mainly it is involved in elevating blood glucose concentration. It enhances the gluconeogenesis and glycogenolysis. They are both secreted in response to blood sugar levels, but in opposite fashions. Insulin is normally secreted by the beta cells of the pancreas. When the blood sugar drops too low, the level of insulin declines and the other cells in the pancreas, that is alpha cell produced glucagon, which causes the liver to turn stored glycogen back into glucose and release it into the blood. This brings blood sugar level back up to normal. The next hormone, epinephrine, glucocorticoids. Epinephrine, cortisol and growth hormone are the other hormones that help maintain blood sugar levels. They are along with glucagon. First one, epinephrine is released from nerve endings and the adrenals and acts directly on the liver to promote sugar production via glycogenolysis. Epinephrine also promotes the breakdown and release of fat nutrients that travel to the liver and that are converted into sugar and ketones. Next, glucocorticoids. Glucocorticoid is the hormone. It is produced by adrenal cortex. It stimulates protein metabolism and increases gluconeogenesis. The glucose utilization by extrahepatic tissue is inhibited by glucocorticoids. The effect of glucocorticoid is to elevate blood glucose concentration. So epinephrine, here glycogen degraded to glucose, then glucose enter in the blood. So here glucose maintained. Next, growth hormone, adrenocorticotrophic hormone and thyroxine. Growth hormone is released from the pituitary, which is a part of the brain. Growth hormone counterbalances the effect of insulin on muscles and fat cells. High levels of growth hormone cause resistance to the action of insulin. Next, adrenocorticotropic Next, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. It is also released from the pituitary and it decreases glucose utilization. The net effect of both these hormones are, and that is growth hormone and ACTH, are hyperglycemic. Then the thyroxine, it is a hormone of thyroid gland. It elevates blood glucose level, stimulating hepatic glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. Then next we continue metabolic effects of insulin. Insulin affects the carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism and protein metabolism. First, effects on carbohydrate metabolism. Insulin influences glucose metabolism in many ways. The net effect is that insulin lowers the blood glucose level. First, effects on glucose uptake by tissues. Insulin is required for the uptake of glucose by tissues. So, the decreased insulin concentration, it affects the uptake of glucose by tissues. The next, effects on glucose utilization. Here, insulin increase glycolysis in muscle and liver. So, glucose utilized in higher concentration. The next, effect on glucose production. Insulin decreases the gluconeogenesis, so glucose production is decreased. The next, effects on lipid metabolism. Net effect of insulin on lipid metabolism is to reduce the release of fatty acid from the stored fat and decrease production of ketone bodies. Effect on lipogenesis. Lipogenesis means synthesis of lipid. Here insulin favors the synthesis of triacylglycerol from glucose by providing more glycerol 3-phosphate and NADPH. Then effects on lipolysis, that is breakdown of lipids. Here insulin decreases the activity of hormone lipase and thus reduces the release of fatty acid from stored fat in adipose tissues. Then next, effect on ketogenesis. Ketogenesis, synthesis of ketone bodies. Here insulin reduces ketogenesis by decreasing the activity of HMG-CoA synthetase. And finally, protein metabolism, effect on protein metabolism. Insulin is an anabolic hormone. It stimulates the entry of amino acid into the cells, enhances protein synthesis and reduces protein degradation. And also insulin promotes the cell growth and replication. Thank you.